people? And today we're breaking down film on Patrick Paul, Miami Dolphins left tackle. And, this season, kind of all about learning what your future pieces are. And I think Paul has shown that he is sort of your future franchise left tackle. I would say overall has been pretty good this season. Definitely been one of your better players. Wouldn't say he's played like elite or great, but his pass pro, quite good, like pretty dang good in pass pro. Run blocking still needs some development there, still need to show some improvement. As a player, we'll go over all of the little details to that, some of the stuff that I like about his game. I think his technique and just overall, like just being comfortable in pass pro looks a lot better. I like his ability to mix up his sets that you'll see in this. But I think having Paul, definitely will help when the Dolphins are like in a little bit of a rebuild. You want to have guys at premium positions that are that are young on those rookie contracts that you have for multiple years, because Paul plays a very premium position. There's certain positions the Dolphins do have at premium that they'll have to, kind of restart at, but Paul kind of settles that down, makes you feel really comfortable about one of your tackle spots, and gives you sort of a building block there. So we're gonna go over this. The run blocking, even his better run blocking reps aren't super great. Like he'll do his job, but he's not gonna go above and beyond. While pass pro, you might see the above and beyond type of reps, and it's why you see him. Like I know I don't really care for PFF, but it's why you'll see guys like him grade much better in pass pro, and it definitely definitely adds up. So here you can just see like this is a behemoth of a man, very tough to move. Like this is Michael Clemens, who in this game was like putting players on their back on the O-line, like specifically Jonah and Cole Strange when he's lined up in the interior. Paul has such a strong anchor. Like this is a huge man, and like I just feel like his hand placement. He's always been like a guy who goes wide with his hands, but I think he's done a better job, like still using that wide hand technique, going up near that shoulder area, which is a fine technique to use. But I do think he's done a better job being more consistent with his timing and placement there. And then he does a good job resetting, and it's just very difficult to move. Sometimes guys, even the bigger, taller guys, sometimes they can get moved because they have that high pad level. But I think Paul does a really good job resetting here. So like he gets up, this guy gets up in his chest. He has lower pad level, but Paul's so just strong that he's able to reset that hand and then anchor super quickly. Very tough guy to bull rush. You will not see him lose many reps bull rushing because he has the entire tool. So like he has the size, physicality, play strength to really hold down a bull rush, and he's playing with better technique for that. And then you see he has the athleticism to deal with the other types of rushes, whether they try to go the outside of him or the inside spin back to the middle. Like Paul just does a really good job mixing up his sets here, like too. Love this. So like he jump sets a lot. And I think Paul right here, as you can see, like first step, boom, looks like he's gonna get in that 45-degree set, because you can vertical set, 45-degree set, or jump set people. Here he looks like he's in a 45-degree set, and then takes a step right there to kind of freeze the edge, showing like, hey, I might jump set you now, get on top of you. Then it makes the guy try to commit to the outside. Paul does a really good job. After you do this, after you kind of do that, with your feet there to kind of freeze him, now you want to be patient with your hands, because he's going to throw out his move. Right after that, you go patience. Now you're ready for that spin back to the inside. He's doing a really good job. I think his balance and body control is really good for a guy of his size. Like, he has some really good athletic and physical traits. It was just all about putting it together for him. And he's been playing with much better technique since he's even got to the pro level. It was better in his rookie year, and it's definitely better this year, even compared to his rookie year. But just really good job there. Mixing up his sets, like seeing that. Here to the outside, very difficult to beat him around the edge. I think usually if his reps do come, it's usually on counter moves back to the inside. I do think he's been better at that this season with his redirecting. But getting to the outside on him with his length and range is near impossible. Like, you will see, as long as the quarterback can at least take one step up in the pocket. Sometimes, like right here, he doesn't even need to step up in the pocket. Paul will just let them ride the arc around. Like here, he does a great job being patient, good feet, and then just has great range. Like he has a good maintained relationship here with this guy, so he can still get inside for that counter. Once he gets to the outside, tries to dip and bend it around, he sort of just rides them out, and he does a great job not hooking people and holding here too, because this is something, like in this position, a lot of guys, when this guy gets low like this and you're a taller guy, sometimes they hook around that like neck area, and that can get some holding calls. He just rides it with that guy, doesn't hook him, doesn't hold at all, give him no opportunities. And that's what's on this. It cuts off here, but that's a touchdown throw to Waddle. So like really seeing that stuff from Paul. And then just as a jump setter, this is where he's most comfortable. Something the Dolphins do a lot because they run a lot of play action. Here they're not doing play action, but it's something they do a lot in play action. It's just jump setting and getting on the edge. So it kind of looks like he might be run blocking. You jump set, get on him, and Paul just has so much range. You can just see how quickly he gets out to this defensive end and just hands on him. Consistent placement with his hands there too. Like he's not too wide. He's not, because I feel like sometimes when he went, with that wide hand, he would almost like he would give up his chest so completely, and he would like go far from the outside to get to those shoulders. But here he's being a little more. He's just getting straight to the point. Like if you just look at his hands, they just go straight to the wide part, and you get engaged quickly. And he is, once he gets engaged with you, very hard guy to disengage from. He has really good grip strength. So really good work there from Paul. Here, beating the inside counter. Chason tries to attack inside. Paul oversets a little bit. This time, he's just able to redirect. And then really good job not holding in this spot. Because right here, when you're right here and you're kind of hooking around that bottom, guys will hold, but he brings his feet and hips with him. So you don't get the hold. Because if he doesn't bring his feet and hips with him, he's going to hook that guy, get the hold, but he brings the feet and hips combined with that hand placement there. Very good redirection. And this was on another big completion down the field to Tyreek. So, very important in a lot of those spots. And I think one thing that I've had concerns with this O-line is if the Dolphins do restart, like say they fire McDaniel at the end of this year and get like a completely new offensive system, I do have concerns about a lot of these O-linemen fitting into a new scheme. And Paul, I had concerns with as well. I think from this season, I do feel better about him fitting into other schemes. I still think his play could take a hit in different schemes, but I don't think it would be as much of a worry maybe as I initially thought. So that's definitely helpful when it comes to building blocks. Because he has some really good pass pro film. Like, in not even just jump setting. Because a lot of the other times, like last year, his rookie film, it was a lot of his best pass pro was jump setting people. Here in, like, vertical and 45-degree sets, like, he's just winning very quickly. I think he's playing with good knee bend, good base. Very difficult guy to beat around the edge. Like, once he gets his hands on you, like, it is so hard to beat him. And that was, like, one of his biggest issues, was just consistently getting hands on guys, and now he's just doing that at a high level. Don't try to beat him around the corner. It's really not going to work. Like here he gets like the hands on, like, and that's a rookie, like hands on right away, full length too, because he has great length. And I think that's another problem with his is like when he would go out with the wide hands like that, sometimes like he wouldn't get engaged with the guy until like basically he was already in the chest. Now you try to like almost fully extend. This guy has to force the long arm, and he's not creating any push on you. Like really nothing going on there from Paul. Great knee bend, good athleticism, just good stuff. And then I would say in the run game, an area he has improved. Still needs to develop those. So like this is not a finished product, but definitely improved from year 1 to 2. Because I think his biggest weakness last year was his angles in the run game. Like whenever he would have a block out like this out in space, he would nearly miss it every single time. He'll still have his misses, but I think he's become a lot more consistent, getting on to the second level players there to DB, creating long runs for Achane. So I wanted to throw those in there because those have been pretty just at a higher level from Paul. And then as a down blocker, when he's like getting downhill, working a combo on guys, and he's able to block Buckner downhill, get him out horizontal displacement, and create a lane back for Achane. Like I think he's done a pretty good job. That's usually when he creates displacement. I want to see him create more movement on these D linemen, but that's usually the type of block he will create displacement on. You'll see it a few other times, like down block, get to the second level. Nice job attacking the low hip to help out Jonah, create that horizontal movement, and then get it to the second level, get a body on that linebacker. You want to see him maybe create more, more of a finish, more nastiness out there. But there's a lot of things to like there from Paul. But then here's where like the angles sometimes, like here he just gets he tries to reach this guy, gives up too much of that inside path and that cutoff, and doesn't get basically established and connected. I think sometimes his landmarks can give up some instant penetration in plays like that. So that's something I think Paul can definitely improve upon. One area they've kind of like here, you can see like they leave the tight end to initially block the end. Paul comes down to help Jonah to get engaged there, and then Paul then also has to then get out and get 98 late because the tight end will be releasing. So that's putting a lot of faith in Paul to help out initially on the D tackle, then get out, help on the edge, and like really shut that down. Doesn't even give that an opportunity, and that was on a big third down completion to Darren Waller. It's like a lot of these big plays. This is the touchdown to Achan. Look at him, jump setting out here on the defensive end. Good hand placement. Good. Look at his range, man. Like, look at that range for a guy of his size. That's really, really impressive, and is exactly what you want to see. Here he gets a little bit of a kick out on Myles Garrett. Like, it's not a super high end block, but it's enough of a job to get it done. So, like, usually his run block reps are kind of like this, not super flashy, but at least enough to get the job done to help create a lane. The other people kind of have to block well around him. Here he's, kind of reach blocking, has to reach that 3 tech, and is able to just get to his spot, his landmark, and cut him off. Give the Jalen Wright the ability to cut back, get like a nice little 8-yard gain, down block again, and create horizontal displacement. Guy tries to work upfield. It just gives a nice lane for Achan to work off of. Typically where he, I would say, has a lot of his better reps. Here's actually, I like this pass per rep because Jonah and Paul probably should be trying to pass this off, but Jonah gets bull rushed very quickly. So Paul knows, like, hey, I have no chance to help him here. This guy's looping to the inside. I'm going to have to replace that and get enough on. And he's able to completely stop this. If he doesn't have, like, that ability to redirect to the inside in that length, this guy has a free path and will be able to chase Tua down. But he slows him down enough, pushes him out of the way, and allows Tua to escape the pocket, which gets that touchdown to Malik on that specific situation. Here the Dolphins running he's fold blocking to the inside. It basically creates pin and pull. So they pin. These guys, he ends up pulling through. He ends up fold blocking, getting out to the linebacker. He can be a weapon like this. Just has to become more consistent because like Brewer is like the ultimate weapon in the run game, and Paul is the other one that I think they asked to do some of the similar stuff. He's just not as effective, but he has the athleticism to get out there and cut people off at the next level. You'll see a couple different examples of it. Here you can see some of that just power, like to the linebacker. So he's getting out double, combo with Brunskill, and he would be climbing up to 40, but he sees 40 shoot the gap quick, so he has to get off of it quicker, and just throws a shoulder and elbow into the guy and knocks him to the ground, which allows Achan to like get a nice little gain to the outside. So there's some decent run game stuff in there. Definitely not his strength. You'll see another fold block here, get to the next level. Would like to see him stay attached at the second level. I think that's somewhere he needs to stay attached better, is when he gets engaged with linebackers. He folds around here, takes a better angle, gets on top of him, and at least gets enough on a body there for Achan to accelerate through. But this is a tackle, like in other situations, this linebacker might make because Paul doesn't maintain it long enough. So that is something he does need to improve upon. But like the initial part's very good, and the pass pro is very, very nice to see from Paul. So he's taken big steps. Probably been one of your top 5 players this season. I would put him probably at like 4 or something like that. Just pretty consistent, pretty reliable. Not a guy that you have to really think about too much. And as a tackle, that's really what you want, especially in pass pro. So if you guys should leave a comment, subscribe next time. Peace.